Yo, what up, squad? All right, man, listen, y'all. Something is not right here about this PS5 Pro, man. And I gotta be me and I gotta be honest about it. Now that I've been using this console here, the PS5 Pro, for about 2 to 3 days now, I think it's really about time we have a real conversation about the PS5 Pro from my honest perspective that I really feel like other people aren't really talking about. So let's discuss. Now, I wanna start this video off here just kind of talking about some of the things that is just not all sunshine and rainbows, and just more so the truth around the PS5 Pro here that I personally feel needs to be changed, or PlayStation needs to release an update like ASAP. And I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. I kind of feel like we might have just gotten the console that we should have gotten back in 2020. First thing that I noticed when it comes to this PS5 Pro here that has honestly been probably one of the most frustrating things when it comes to PlayStation in general, and that is just the overall networking speeds. They have still not opened that up, man, although it was claimed that the PS5 Pro here has Wi-Fi 7. Now, in my testing, man, I noticed that the Wi-Fi 7 speeds were only showing me like 78 megabits per second down, and my upload speeds was only like 30, right? To me, this is absolutely, y'all, absolutely not acceptable, man. Listen, I gotta call it how I see it, man, and not hold back. And if we ever want to get PlayStation consoles to be what we've all been wanting, then I feel like we gotta kind of, you know what I'm saying? We gotta let them know what we seeing in our testing versus what they're claiming, right? And on my OG PS5 console, when I ran the same speed test on that one, I was getting 373.5 megabits per second for my download, and my upload speeds was like 26.6 megabits per second. You can just watch it for yourself. All right, guys, so I want to show you guys firsthand, man. So as you guys can see here, I'm on my PS5 Pro here. As you guys can see right there, we got the light on at the bottom right there. And then if we move on over to the screen here, you guys can see, man, my download speeds that I'm getting right now is 78.1 megabits per second. And then we also have my upload speeds that I'm getting is 30.8 megabits per second. All right, now keep that in mind. All right, so if I move on over here to my OG PS5 that you guys can see that's right here. Now, the speeds that I'm getting for this one is 373.5 megabits per second on download speed, as well as my upload speeds is 26.6 megabits per second. Now, I also want to show you guys the connection speeds that I'm connecting to. So my router that I have, so I'm both connected to the exact same network. They're both Wi-Fi 7 routers. So you guys can see here, that is my CKid Net 7. And then if I go back here, you can also see I'm on the exact same Wi-Fi 7 network here on the PS5 Pro. All right, so as you guys can see here, man, I'm now hardwired in using the LAN port on the back of the PS5 Pro. Now we're gonna go ahead and run a speed test here just to see what speeds we're actually getting. And you can clearly see once it's actually finished that I'm still not getting close to that 2 gigs that I'm paying for from my ISP. Now you can see here with the download speeds, I'm only getting 830.2 megabits per second, which again, I'm not saying that that's bad because that is still more than what people need. But then if we go ahead and look at the upload speeds here, once it's finished, I'm only getting 31.5 megabits per second. So something's not adding up, if you ask me. Now, the reason that I bring this up, right, is because for the OG PS5 here, we paid $400 for the digital edition. And for the PS5 Pro that's right here, that was promised Wi-Fi 7 speeds, I'm only getting 78.1 megabits per second. And I mean, listen, y'all, I gotta call them out on this one because downloading games on the PS5 was already kind of slow due to the fact that for some reason, PlayStation will not open up their servers for allowing the speeds that we pay our ISPs for, or our internet service providers for. And if it's not any faster, then honestly, man, that's kind of disappointing. You can see right up here on the screen my true speeds that I get in my house, which is close to 2 gigabytes down as well as 2 gigabytes up. So the fact that I'm only able to pull in 78.1 megabits per second down and 30.8 up, it's just not cool at all in my book, man. And I feel like PlayStation needs to address and fix this ASAP, because even one of you guys out there, right? I was reading the comments in my last video, and one of you guys specifically said that you've upgraded your internet speeds with your ISP just so that way you can take full advantage of the Wi-Fi 7 card as well as the speeds and performance, right? And to me, if people are spending more money outside of the console to try and take full advantage of what we were promised and not getting that right out of the gate, and in in my opinion, that's not cool. Listen, man, I gotta keep it all the way funky here, man, and just call it how I see it. If I buy a PS5 Pro level that's marketed as a pro level console, then listen, man, I want what I'm paying for, especially when the price is $700. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is just the overall UI experience. Now, to be honest with y'all, I love PlayStation's UI experience. I think it is a dope experience. But in my honest opinion, after using and playing around on this console here for a few days, I don't really have a feeling of purchasing anything new from a UI perspective. Now, when you guys even first boot up the PS5 Pro, even the text on the screen still says PlayStation 5, which to me is kind of crazy, especially since that's something they could have easily changed to say something like welcome to the PlayStation 5 Pro instead, or just something along those lines. Also, little icons throughout the UI still has the old PS5 design instead of putting maybe the new stripes on there, or, you know, these new Adidas stripes. I just feel like the entire UI in itself should have been different to make us feel like we bought something new from a navigational experience. For example, right? Maybe they could have only given that new welcome home screen that they just gave to every PlayStation user, that you can change the backgrounds and all of that. And it's cool that they gave us a new background. I'm not saying that they didn't, because they did. I just feel like that could have possibly been an exclusive feature to the PS5 Pro console. Or maybe even switch up the settings menu or switch up the dock tray to make it look a little different. Just something that makes me feel like I spent $700 besides how good the gaming on itself looked. Because I gotta keep it real, y'all. Gaming on this bad boy still looks amazing, y'all, which we're going to touch on that here in a second. And for those out there that's like, well, CKid, there's no way that they could have made a software change just for the PS5 Pro. Listen, I disagree with you on that, because if you go right now into settings, go to screen and video, and under video output, you will see a feature enhanced image quality for PS4 games. This is only on the PS5 Pro. So this lets me know they could have easily made UI changes to be specifically for the PS5 Pro. And if I'm being real, man, I honestly feel like PlayStation kind of got lazy when it came to the UI and only focused on increasing frame rates and graphical performance, which again, all of those things are important and all of those things is cool and that's dope, right? But what makes a PlayStation such a great console is not just the gaming in itself, it is also the fluidity of the UI experience and just how good that UI experience is. And I'm not talking about like do a whole complete change up and switch up, but at least like the little things, right? Just give us something that pro users can hang our hats on, all right? Now, the next thing that I have to keep it all the way funky with y'all, man, and mention and talk about, and that is all games that were promised to get the PS5 Pro Enhanced feature should have been given to us right out the gate at launch. Now, there's still a crazy amount, y'all, and I'm talking a crazy amount of games that were promised to have this feature that we still don't have yet on this console to experience. From my eyes, here's how I see it, right? If we didn't get any new games to play out of the gate on the PS5 Pro, which still kind of hurts a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, I do feel like PlayStation should have launched at least one title to go along with the PS5 Pro that we can see all of the dope sauce and everything in it, right? I just feel like they should have had conversations with developers and just gaming studios to make sure all of those games were going to be ready to be PS5 Pro Enhanced whenever the console was released. I see a lot of you guys out there are asking me in my comments, CKid, when is the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 update dropping? And listen, I don't know and nobody know, right? I can only speculate that this is probably going to be something that's going to drop when Season 1 of Call of Duty drops, which I believe is November 15th or 17th, one of those two dates. Like if you look at Black Ops right now, it has the badge by it saying PS5 Pro Enhanced, but when you go into the game in itself and you look for it under the graphics, it's nowhere to be found in there to be able to change any type of graphic settings. And it's not just for that game. It's information that us pro users don't have any clue on when all of the games promised that we talked about on my live stream that you guys can pull up to every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday starting at 6:30 Central Standard Time. But one of you guys out there mentioned on my live stream that there's over 100 games that's going to be getting this feature, but yet we have no dates and we have no information. So to me, I just got to call a spade, man. This was a huge fail, in my opinion, when it comes to the PS5 Pro. Now, this next thing here, man, has been bothering me ever since the OG PS5, as well as the PS5 Pro here. And again, this is being on a pro level console, which is why I'm talking about this in this video. And that is being able to record gameplay in 4K quality without changing the file type to a WebM file versus being able to record 4K gameplay in an MP4 format, right? Which is way more widely acceptable when you pull that file off to be able to offload it to your computer. So if you've ever recorded gameplay using the WebM file, for most editing softwares out there, you have to convert it first into an MP4 file, which means you have to pay for software to even be able to convert that footage. Then on top of that, the footage in itself just looks terrible, y'all. WebM file strips a lot of the color completely out of the footage. You can see it right here firsthand for yourself, and I'll just throw it right up here on the screen for you guys to check out. Now, as you guys can see, man, I'm only here speaking facts because I want and need this console here to be better. That's why I speak truth here on this channel. Now, the other thing here when it comes to the file format, again, why is it I'm only able to record 1080p gameplay on the PS5 Pro in a MP4 format? To me, it just don't make sense. So PlayStation, if you're watching this, open it up to where we can actually record 4K gameplay using an MP4 file versus only being able to record 1080p using an MP4 format. Let's make that change, man. Now, this last thing here is actually one of my live stream crew actually mentioned, man. Shout out to K Jones. I told you I was gonna put you in this video, bro, and I did. And that is, he's talking about the PlayStation Link technology missing from the PS5 Pro. Why wasn't it embedded into the system? And to me, I feel like this would have made it more of a separator from previous gen consoles. And that, again, is the PlayStation Link being built right into the Pro console. So if you don't know what PlayStation Link is, it is basically PlayStation newest technology for connecting their headphones like the Pulse Elites or something like the Pulse Explorer earbuds to the PlayStation Portal, since the Portal here doesn't have Bluetooth, right? Now, although I gotta be real with y'all, man, I'm not a huge fan of PlayStation Link technology at the moment, at the time of this video, due mainly to its poor range of connectivity and just some of the issues that I've had as far as trying to pair devices using that technology. It's just not as smooth as it should be. Now, I do feel like a more refined version, although, of that tech should have been built right into the PS5 Pro, so that way I can be able to use their newest technology to be able to connect their own gaming headphones as well as earbuds using, again, their new technology on their brand new console. Again, it's little things like this that I felt like would have made us users of this console here just have that feeling of, I just bought something new based on receiving features that would have been only exclusive to the PS5 Pro in itself. Listen, man, don't come for me in the comments because, listen, I am a fan of PlayStation in itself. I'm just sitting here speaking facts because I want things to be better whenever the PS5 6 comes out, or maybe they update the PS5 Pro and we can all be happy, all right? I can't sit up here, man, and just talk about the PS5 Pro like it still ain't saucy and that, you know, there's not a lot of good things about the PS5 Pro, because there's a whole lot of good things about it. So let's talk about that. Now, first thing is the PS5 Pro Enhanced feature. At first, I gotta be real with y'all, before I got this console, I was like, I don't know if there's really gonna be that much of a difference, because the OG PS5 as well as the PS5 Slim is already good. But after my testing, y'all, yes, I can see a difference. Now, is it a huge difference from the OG PS5 or the PS5 Slim to the PS5 Pro? I gotta be honest with y'all, probably not. It's not huge, but it is definitely a difference. Now, one of the main things that I noticed with the PSSR and the PS5 Pro Enhanced mode, and that is with ray tracing is definitely better, and the image quality is definitely sharper in games that I personally tested. Now, like I said, y'all, it does look good. And even if you guys, let's say you're coming from a PS4 Pro model or less, then I would say 1000% you should definitely upgrade without hesitation. You will no doubt notice a difference on this console right here, right? But if you guys, let's say you're someone who has an OG PS5 or you got a PS5 Slim that I got right up here, then is it worth the upgrade? To me, I'm gonna answer that like this, right? If you guys trade in your OG PS5 or your PS5 Slim here, and let's say you was able to get somewhere around like $300, right, for your old console, then at that point, I would say absolutely yes. But anything less than that, I would probably just kind of wait for the PS6 and just kind of keep with what you already got and not really make that jump to the PS5 Pro. And a lot of that thought pretty much comes down to a lot of the missed opportunities that I mentioned earlier in this video, and it has nothing to do with the video and gameplay quality out of this console, because like I said, the video quality and gameplay quality out of here is fire, y'all. Now, another thing that I like about the PS5 Pro here, which I'm glad they did, y'all, for games that are PS5 Pro Enhanced, when you go right into that game, by default, it is already set in the settings to the point where you don't have to make any changes or nothing, y'all. And what I love about this is it gives us gamers the best possible experience without having to go all into the menu options and figure out which setting I need to change and all of that. they do it for you, which to me is dope. Because if we're being honest, right, I feel like some people out there who will buy the PS5 Pro don't know too much about any of this, and they just know that, hey, this is a pro level console and it's going to give me the best quality that, you know, PlayStation has to offer. And that's why they are buying it. And to me, y'all, that's a fair assessment for most people because it does look damn good on this console. Them setting that by default was a huge W, man, to cut down on any confusion and just let us gamers get right into the best this console here has to offer. So W to PlayStation on that tip. Now, the last thing I have to mention, man, that has been something that I've been testing out that's been working surprisingly well, that I feel like nobody is really talking about, that I feel like I have to talk about, and that is the connectivity to the PlayStation Portal here, man. And here's what I mean. So whenever that I would play my PlayStation Portal here on the OG PS5 or the PS5 Slim that I got right up here, you would need to have those consoles hardwired into your network in order to get the best and smooth connection from your PS5 to the PlayStation Portal. But with my testing, man, with the PS5 Pro here on Wi-Fi, no cables, no wires, no nothing, the PlayStation Portal, man, ran crazy smooth, and it's better than what my OG PS5 and my PS5 Slim when it's not plugged in. I'm not sure if they made some sort of tweaks to this console here for this to be able to work, but it definitely connects and plays smooth without the PS5 Pro here being hardwired into your network. So now you can move this bad boy anywhere you want. You don't have to connect it up hardwired in order for you to play your PlayStation Portal. Now, some of you guys out there ask me, yo, CKid, does the PlayStation Portal look better in picture quality? Now, even after my testing and gaming on it for the past few days, I tested it on the Slim, I tested it on the OG, and as well as I tested it on the Portal here. And I gotta be honest with y'all, I didn't see any difference at all, man. So I would say if you guys are buying the PlayStation 5 Pro, do not buy it expecting the PlayStation Portal quality to look better, because it won't. And you will literally just be out of $700, all right? But y'all, that's pretty much it, man. I just wanted to share with you guys kind of some of my thoughts and just what I've been experiencing when it comes to the PS5 Pro here since I've been playing with it and all of that. But I want to know from you guys, man, how are you guys liking it, y'all? Are you vibing with it? Do you not like it? What are some of the things you like or some of the things you don't like? Let's just go ahead and discuss it down in the comment section below. Also, man, make sure you guys come back here tomorrow because I'm going to be doing some showcasing, y'all, side-by-side gameplay of the PS5 Pro here versus the OG PS5 versus the PS5 Slim in a complete showdown, man. And let's go ahead and set the record straight on if it's truly better or not. So, hey, we're going to talk about it. Now, thanks again for watching, y'all. Make sure to hit that like button down below as well as subscribe if you guys are new here. See y'all in the next one. Squad, we out.